Alrighty, we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stream. My name is Cargos. Date is May 16th, 2019. Closed beta has commenced. I'm joined today by DefCamp, DefCamp Dunedin, and Graysfordays. We got a special guest on GMA. Melron couldn't make it this time because he started his new gig down at Penn. How's everyone doing today?
I'm good. I had a long working day and I missed the release of the beta because it was actually around 12 in midnight in Europe. So I didn't see any beta footage yet. So first things I see is from DefCamp stream and a few clips here and there. But other than that, all good. How are you?
Oh, I'm going absolutely crazy, guys. I'm going crazy over here watching everybody stream and I can't get in.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if everybody feels the same way.
A lot of us are in the same boat, man. For those of you wondering, a lot of people are asking in the chat right now. I didn't get a beta invite. Neither did any of these fellows except for DefCamp. DefCamp got in. Melderon also got in, right? So
I feel so bad. Yeah, he did too. What's up, guys?
You having fun, DefCamp?
I am, but I feel bad that I'm the only one in here. I really do, dude. It feels bad. I have like literally no one's grouping up with me. There's like no one to play with. I want to play with you.
DefCamp's camera's straight gameplay.
The US, is that the same beta as the EU?
I think so. I mean, people like Guzu, he was running with Navic yesterday doing Wailing Caverns. They're all in one group. I mean, he's EU, right? It seems like there's EU players. I think they only have like 2 servers, right?
Wow. So this is really like the big chance to play together.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we were looking forward to this day for a while, right? Like the initial day 0 hype. Being able to ride that hype train. So we're going to be talking about the beta pretty much exclusively today. What we've seen so far, state of the game, bugs, issues, the beta invites, and how everybody's feeling. You know, a lot of us are in the same boat. Like I said, yep, no beta invite, homie. Rip. Some good people didn't get beta invites. It feels small though, right? It seems like DefCamp, you're playing it, right? What does the server pop feel like to you, man?
So honestly, I can say that like the number of people on Horde side that are like from 10 to so there's some people that are like level 23, like pretty crazy, that have not started playing, but that's like there's probably like less than 100 people on Horde side right now.
Wow, that's really small.
That's I mean that's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. Because you can only see 50 right when you /who, but when I /who, let me just check on.
Well, the other thing, I was talking to Ale about it, and he was thinking that it's actually, they have layering implemented right now, which nobody can really confirm, but it seems like less than 500 invites.
It seems like they wouldn't need to though, right? It's so few people playing, like 1,000 people. That they may not.
Literally less than 1,000 invites went out, is what I've seen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, what am I marrying? I'm getting married on Sunday, guys. People are already flying in. One of my groomsmen is in the other room right now doing stuff. Connor, if you guys know Connor from the Discord, he's flying in. He's on the train over here right now. I'm picking up it's been hectic for me, man. So it's not like I'm super salty that I didn't get into the beta invite. Like I'm not gonna be able to play too much anyway with the wedding and all this going on. But you know,
this man is committed.
Yeah.
I didn't think you were gonna show up today, Cargos. You got all this going on.
I'm trying. I may have to run out and come back and thread the needle, Tom Brady style, a little bit here. But
it's awesome that you're here to do this today. It's really nice.
Yeah, it's fun, man. I look forward to it, man. Being able to just, it's like a little, being able to vent with you guys and talk about all this stuff.
So I've made a little topic list. We will probably go over beta invites first, and then the release date, the hour it releases in Europe and US. Layering, maybe. There's a lot to talk about.
A lot to talk about.
Then we have bugs, probably things we want to check in beta, and some lighter stuff in the end if we still have time. So shall we start with the first topic?
Sure thing, man. Real quick, Sneaky Orc Wow, subscribe to Tier 1. Welcome to the channel, my friend. I haven't seen you in here before. New faces, always feels good, man. Feels good. Welcome. Sorry, continue.
No worries. So beta invites. I guess you probably want to start with that, Cargos.
Yeah.
Or DefCamp can clear the air with how he got in. I don't know if that would help give everybody because everybody's asking how do I get in, and
so so let me just say, so basically, like from what I know, Melderon in our account, goes back pretty far. We branched off. We had the same account back in the day, right? we're same last name, so it was allowed. That's what everyone's saying. So we had the same account back in the day. We tested a bunch of betas, and so what we did is my account was active about a month ago. I did a deep dive molten core, had a bunch of gold left over from before, so I made sure my account was active. Made sure that I clicked on the beta access as well as the regular access as well, and then basically the only thing that I was doing was checking the launcher. We did get an email today, apparently. Melron said. I didn't check it yet, but we were just checking the launcher, and then what happened was I can pull it up real quick on my screen.
Ooh, the official email, huh?
Yeah. Well, no, this is the from the launcher, right? So when you look at the launcher and you see it, it has the regular live ones right here, and then up on the top it said Beta WoW Classic. As soon as I saw that, it started downloading.
That looks so juicy from here.
I know.
I can see it in
sorry,
the background. Oh man, feels good. At least we can live vicariously through you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I honestly, guys, like, first impressions, I don't even wait a little bit, but yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit. We'll talk about
what I will say on a positive note, because I don't want to be a Debbie Downer. I've been a little bit down on the streams recently. I'm gonna be honest, right? But it's not as bad as a lot of you guys think. A lot of people have been messaging me like, "Yo, dude, you look like the world is ending." I'm a happy man. I'm about to have the happiest, like, one of the happiest weeks of my life with the whole wedding and everything coming up, and we have this amazing community. The game's coming out, and I think the most positive note that I'm feeling right now overall that's bigger than this closed beta is that the game is in a much better position than the demo. It looks significantly better. Yeah, there's still apparently a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed. I have a little list over here, but compared to the impressions of going into the demo for the first time, it does seem like they made some significant changes, and that it's looking good. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Dude, I've seen so many things. I've been watching streams the last 24 hours, or not even 24 hours. It hasn't been out. I've seen so many things different than private servers, but overall, it's a very smooth gameplay. And it, considering what we've seen, everybody wants to base it off of private servers. Some major things like pathing, the patrols, the aggro range. That's a big thing that I've noticed, at least. The aggro range is like half of what it was on private servers. There's NPCs 3 or 4 levels higher than you, and I've seen people pulling mobs and they're not pulling the other mobs around them, and it's just blowing my mind. But overall, I mean, it's a smooth gameplay. I haven't seen any bugs come up, but it's a very different kind of feel than the private servers in the past. Which is that what you felt, Def Camp, so far? That's just from what I've seen. Like, does it feel a lot different than private servers? Because it's looked a lot different.
It does. It feels different. Like the feel more than anything. The look. So I did notice like there are different mobs spawning in different points. Like that's definitely something. They are definitely way more abilities on the mobs. Like I noticed like the mindless zombies in the beginning at the lake. They have like abilities that I never noticed before. There's a certain amount of animations that I noticed are a little bit different when it comes to like the smite. Not so much the animation, but the effect. When you hit a target, it's very bright. Little things like that. Also, like little feels like how wanding is. Like, so the wanding animation was good. I'm sure you guys wanted to hear that. The wanding animation looks really good. But one of the big things that I noticed was that, and I'm sure this is correct, but when you start wanding, you pretty much have to wait for the global of whatever ability you used to actually go through. And you have to, so you actually, even though wanding isn't on the global, you kind of have to wait for it to go through.
Wanding's not on the global? What do you mean?
So like when you wand, right? Like if you know, like back in on the private servers, you can basically like Shadow Word Pain and proc and start the wanding right away.
Start the wand, right? After you wand, you shoot the wand though, right? You get the little global. Okay, yeah.
Right. After you shoot the wand. Well, the thing is here, even though it's not on the global, it feels like it is. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so there's a little bit of a delay or something, or more of a cast time.
There's a little bit of a delay.
There is a little bit of a baked-in cast time with the wands. I noticed that on the demo, and that's partially why you couldn't do wand weaving as well, like being able to weave melee strikes between. It felt like it was a little bit longer of a wind-up time before you could shoot out the thing. Yeah.
So from the little things I saw in the beta, I think it's pretty good. That it seems a little bit harder than private servers, as far as I can see, and people say so as well. So yeah, DefCam.
It feels really okay. I am level 12, right? Level 12 right now, but my regen seems really fast.
Too fast.
It does, dude. Like, I mean, you can watch it from the stream. I'm getting, and I have to go and look on the other servers and see how it worked or what. But like, even at level 12, I'm still getting like 20 mana every second, outside the 5-second rule, and it's just, it feels really fast, and that is making me level pretty quick. Now, I will say, having the 1.12 wand is very strong. Like this wand is a level 5 wand with 11.3 DPS. I'm literally can just dot a target and wand it to death, and I don't have to use any mana. So I think that might be it. But it also just feels like I'm regenning pretty fast.
20 mana per tick though seems a little low to me. That's we were experiencing about 20, 25, even at like the starting zone. I mean, I guess a whole lot. It
feels like the ticks are faster. I'm not sure. It feels like they're a little bit less than a second. I don't know if that's what it is.
Should be 2-second ticks.
Yeah, no, it definitely feels like it's a second tick. It definitely feels like a second. I can, if you guys, I'll just dump some mana out real quick, and you guys, if you want to try to look at it, but it just feels really fast. It does, and people said the health regen looks fast too. Now remember, I am level 12, right? I am level 12, so.
Because first reports they actually said that it felt slower, and that it felt slower to level, slower to regenerate mana, slower to regenerate health and stuff. So you're saying the exact opposite, which is quite interesting.
Yeah, I think they pointed that out in the demo that they did at the Irvine convention. But what I'm curious about Def Camp is if it's felt different from level 1 to level 12. Has it sped up at different levels? I don't know if whatever the coding is, it's consistent all the way through, but if it's different at each level. But real quick, that might be a tangent that we can't figure out right now, but I just got, they just put out a blue post right now that went over,
really?
Yep, over the Classic WoW beta test, over some issues that they have. If y'all want to pull it up and go over it at least, maybe that'd be a good point to start. I just linked it in our Discord, but it looks like they have some issues that they've already got in the testing, and they've pointed them out for us to look at. I don't know, and we can see how big of a deal they are and see how quickly they're working on issues.
Awesome,
maybe the
dude.
mana regen's in here. I haven't seen it.
So would you probably want to go over it, Grace, and read part of it?
Yeah. I mean, maybe we can pull it up somehow, or if that's too much trouble. Carlos, what do you think?
I don't have any presentation mode set up or anything like this. I had to scramble to put the stream scene together. We're just gonna have to make do and read it. Like.
Okay. Yeah. So below is a list of known issues for the initial WoW Classic Beta release. This isn't a complete depiction that we're aware of, but this is a sampling of issues that we believe players may encounter with some regularity. We'll try to keep this updated with trending issues when possible. So they're really going to be active on giving blue posts apparently throughout this beta test. But classes in combat. Activating Raptor Strike while auto shot is toggled on does not cause the hunter to begin to auto attack melee. Hunter pets do not auto cast dash or dive when engaging their targets. Ooh, this is hunter stuff for you, Cargos. Hunter pets may not immediately return to your side upon entering passive mode. And then many talents are currently missing their requirements text. Okay. I don't know, did anything stick out to you on that?
I mean, you really shouldn't have dash on autocast anyway. You should have your, there should be an easier way. I'm really dying to see how the macros work. Stuff like start attack, we tested that yesterday with Def Camp. / start attack works. I assume / pet attack will work. On the private servers, you have to use script. You have to do a little mini script to use pet ability. It'd be like script use pet ability 1 or whatever. Hopefully, there's an easy way to do it. You can just do something simpler. But either way, I don't see that as a huge deal. Like, I'm assuming what they mean by that is like dash is on autocast and they're not automatically dashing.
Yeah, there's okay. Well, that's just some of the classes in combat. It seems like it's just predominantly on hunter right now. But just real quick, I'll hit a couple more of these points and we'll be done with it. But it's just because it's a fresh blue post. The user interface attempting to sign in through Twitter, through the interface option crashes the client. So they're actually intending for that to be an option in there. I know that wasn't originally in Classic, obviously, but apparently that's not working. The world map path indicators during transport loading screens may be inaccurate. That's just kind of an interesting bug. And then items with randomly generated stats will display the alt random enchantment tag in the loot window and chat tooltips when being looted.
Wait, what?
Wait, say that again?
So I've seen that, and I wasn't sure how this was supposed to work. It looked really weird. I've seen it on streamers, but the items with randomly generated stats will display the alt random enchantment tag in the loot window and chat tooltips when being looted. So it won't show you the actual stats that are going to come out. It actually says random enchantment. And I can't tell if that's a bug or if that's how it's supposed to be. But
Yeah,
that's how I've seen it.
I guess that's a bug, since I guess they listed bugs here, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So it'll be like of the whale, and it'll show random enchantment instead of showing the actual stats. So then you can determine who picks it
Yeah,
up.
I'm gonna just spitball some of the stuff that I found a little bit potentially disturbing, stuff that I saw in passing that I haven't been able to investigate again. I'm not in the beta, but stuff like when we passed over your portrait Def Camp, I was watching your stream, or maybe it was Navik stream. There's a voice chat option baked in there. That's one thing.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of options. So there's voice chat. There's move. You can unlock the frame and move it. It's basically very much more like, and you can reset instances as well. So you can reset instance without using the actual map.
Okay, yeah, that was one small thing. It's not. I mean, that's interesting. Another thing though is that some quest rewards are now shared that aren't shared on the private servers. So who knows if this is a change or if this is how it was Blizz like back in the day. But some of the stuff, like those initial starting area quest items, the initial start, I same here. I remember in my
ones and the Barons, dude. There's no way.
Well, not even stuff like that. So, example, like for one specific example is like in Duratar, when you go kill Lieutenant Benedict up in the Kultaras Keep, in Tirgard Keep, you kill him, you have to go unlock that box, right? And that box is a pain usually from when we're doing our dual leveling routes. You have to go get it on one guy, wait for it to respawn 2-3 minutes, and then get it again. So you're able to like get that if you're in a group, you're able to get it at the same time. Stuff like that doesn't seem like that's how it was back in the day. I feel like people might be able to chime in here. Also, some of these quest NPCs, stuff that you need to kill like Sarkoth, the Gazus, things like this, they appear to be spawning faster than the normal 5-minute respawn timer. Now, some people might say that's purely a good thing, right? This is going to improve the leveling experience. More people are going to be able to kill these things faster. It's not going to get as congested. But I would offer as, this is a discussion point, because all I'm saying is that's not Classic in its truest sense of the word. That's part of Classic, for better or for worse, the idea that is a nightmare potentially. I don't know, what do you guys feel particularly about that type of stuff, or no?
Yeah, I mean, that's one of those small things that's just a tiny ripple effect. I will say another thing I noticed, Cargos, along those same lines, people were talking about how guard patrols, how they kill mobs, and I was watching Soda's stream. This actually happened like 2 hours ago. He was in Ashenvale, and he was killing this level 31 mob. He was level 22, and he needed a quest drop. I think it started a quest. It's this big Talon bird. But anyways, he got the mob down maybe 5%, and then the guards killed the rest of it, and he was able to loot it, which doesn't seem correct from what I've heard, at least in the past. Or maybe that was like a retail thing. Maybe that was something in the future that got fixed. You had to put down 40%, 50% in order to get credit for the kill, if guards were to help you, or to get loot from the mob. But maybe in vanilla, all you had to do was tag it, and if guards killed it, you'd get full credit for it. I'm not sure, but that's another one of those things potentially that I noticed.
On a lot of the private servers, if the guards touch it at all, you get 0 XP. So it's not something I feel strongly about.
Well, that's the thing. Like, how do we know what's official and what's not? But that's one thing that I noticed through these streams, at least. But yeah, no, I mean, I think it has a big effect. So one thing, Carlos, too, with the respawn rates, I don't know if you guys saw the launch yesterday, or the launch of beta, but whenever a lot of streamers were playing in that initial zone, I don't think there was layering. Now that we talk about it, and after we've seen how many people were actually invited to this thing, I don't know if you guys saw it, but how scarce the starting zones were, dude. Like, people were actually
very
sitting
scarce, dude.
Respawn. Oh, it blew me away. I mean,
Scarce
it
in
made me
what
happy,
sense?
actually.
Sorry. You're saying that there's too few mobs?
There was too few mobs, dude.
In the very early starting zones, like right when we started. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I saw from people that got that weren't ahead of the pack.
Do you know what starting zone this was by chance?
I'm talking about Duratar. Yes.
Duratar. So you're talking about like the
same way in
Boars and the
same way in Tearsful.
Okay, because some people have told me
that's Blizz-like, I guess. But is that a good thing in your opinion?
I don't know. Some people have told me that some of the other areas, like in Duratar, outside of the very starting zones, like the Camp Darachi and Valley of the Trials, have had additional mob spawn points that weren't there on the private servers, so that there was increased mob density in certain areas. I figure, but that could very well be the case. Some areas are lower than the private servers, figured, and some are more. Real quick, Meat Hooks 333 Subscribe with Twitch Prime. Subscribe for 2 months. Thank you very much for the 2 months, man. And another guy says torrent hitboxes are way too big. This is something I was very excited to explore on this beta.
Too big, or are they right?
It's too big. So the private servers, apparently it's Blizz like vanilla for torrents to have 3-yard additional hitbox. That means what a hitbox is, for those of you who don't know, it's like the range in which you can melee. So if something is, compared to like a gnome or like another race, Torrens would be able to strike someone from melee from 3 additional yards away. It would make sense lore-wise, RP-wise. They're big, tall figures. It's very interesting from a hunter perspective.
Too.
From a hunter perspective of being able to potentially melee weave in a lot more elegantly without missing an auto shot or something like that. So if it's more than 3 yards, yeah, that may be a concern, but you may not be used to that additional 3-yard radius or hitbox.
Yeah, Def Camp, so that starting zone, it felt that way for you at least, and this may be something really good about layering, because if it was scarce yesterday, from what I saw, and people were struggling to get out of the starting zone, imagine with a full launch, if it truly is a layering of 3,000 people in a layer, like they've speculated at least up to this point, it's gonna be chaos, dude, in the 1 to 5 zone, and they're not gonna have dynamic respawns, and this is what I love. I with the sharding, I was kind of disappointed because the traditional 1 to 5 route was just going to be the most effective way to do it, because you're going to be in a shard with, I don't know, 30, 40 other people, or maybe even less. But now, getting out of that starting zone with a couple buddies may actually be the viable play. And I just feel like that's more...
I have to agree. Agree.
Yeah,
so maybe I can give my opinion about the layering. Sure. I guess all of us were a little bit disappointed. I guess that's the right word, when we heard about layering, right? Yeah. So I thought about it quite a lot, and I talked with my guild, talked with Dev Camp, and a lot of people actually. And after some thought and after sleeping about it for a night, it might be a good solution. So it's probably controversial to say.
You're saying layering is a good solution?
Yeah, I'm saying that.
Okay.
It might be. Yeah, let me explain. So, layering, as first probably explain it a little bit. So what it does, it will probably put 2,500 to 3,000 people on the same layer, and that would probably also be the population cap of the server when layering is gone later. So I saw an example of 2.5k layers and a population cap of 3k in phase 2. And what they want to do is, if the realm launches or the game launches, they expect a gigantic influx of people. So that means servers will not be kept at the 3k population as they used to, but they will probably be kept at 9k or another number. I'm just making up some numbers. And then they expect that the population goes down, and that's the scary part, but I'll come back to that later. So they expect it will go down in, let's say, 3-4 weeks. And if they don't do layering, that would mean all servers would have like 1,000 pop or less, and they would probably die down. That wouldn't feel so good. So they thought it might be good if we just overpopulate servers at launch. And then later, if the population dies down, it will have a normal population, right? So that idea is not bad, but that actually means that the population has to go down at a certain point, and if it doesn't, they're pretty much screwed. I was thinking, but I guess there are solutions if it doesn't go down, like offering free transfers to low population servers, have queues at that moment, so people are forced to transfer, basically, things like that. Now, the thing I find good with layering is that, like Gray said, you will have layers of 2.5 to 3k probably, so it feels like a real Blizz-like server, right? And basically it is what we discussed before. It's like we said, if you have like Illidan 1, Illidan 2, Illidan 3, and you put them all together later, that's basically what layering is. So we discussed it a little bit before on Good Morning Azeroth as a solution.
So here's a few things I want to throw out. I hear what you're saying, man. I hear what you're saying. I'm still a little bit undecided. My gut still tells me I'm against layering, but here for those of you who don't know, what layering is, I'll give a little bit of a broad strokes review. $5, Luca Klemenchik. Cargos, 1 skinny vanilla latte for you. Thank you very much, man.
Cargos, 1 skinny vanilla late for you.
So layering, I'm just calling layering sharding at this point. I feel like it is kind of the same thing. Like, it's not cross-realm, but I don't think sharding would ever have been cross-realm in vanilla. That would have been super sketch if they did sharding cross-realm in the starting zones.
Yeah.
So, but here's the thing about layering. Like, it comes down to two things, right? It's what you were saying today, right? The reason why they would introduce layering is to prevent merging servers down the line, right? When the server populations would drop. So this is the thing that they're focusing on. What do we do about the eventual drop off? Now, you can either create a bunch of servers, which would probably cost more, and then you would lead to merging them. And then some people feel that merging these servers would be very destructive to the community and the economies because you're smashing two different realms together. And that's going to be very destructive versus layering this approach where you create these different layers of an onion on a server and then you consolidate down to the intended population size when the time comes. I personally don't think merging servers is as big of a deal as people might think. I think it's part of the server life cycle. It's like they grow and die and you can consolidate them. But I was talking to Alex about this earlier, and he actually provided a decent solution. And it's still taking some pages out of the layering book in the sense of, like, what if there were layers, right? If it was Tichondrius or Illidan or Anderhall, and you had these layers, right? So you actually had layers like Anderhall 1, Anderhall 2, Anderhall 3, but they were basically almost like separate realms, right? So, like, you would know going into it, if I'm playing on Anderhall 3, this will be consolidated eventually down into Anderhall, but you're not going to have the issues of vanishing to escape PvP ganks. You're not going to have the issue of, resetting AoE packs so you can grind them down together. You could still achieve the same effective layering in the sense that people that are rolling on Anderhall 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever, know that it's going to be consolidated down eventually, but you're not going to have this, like, phasing in and out and kind of sharding layering.
Right.
I'm blabbering on, sorry. Does that make sense at all?
Yeah, it does. And I heard that solution from other couple people as well. The thing is, Cargos, I don't think that we exactly know what layering is. I think that's our biggest issue is we don't realize what it is. And if it's anything like what I saw yesterday, and from my understanding of it just being 2 or 3 layers compared to what would sharding be, dude? Would it be 50, 60, 70 shards? That's what I was thinking.
For each zone. So
50 compared to 3? I don't know. That's
a huge difference. Like you said, if you have layers, you will have the entire population, basically the same zone of 3K at launch.
Explain to me the difference between a shard and a layer again, though, because I think you're onto something. I was calling sharding layering, but I may not be correct with that.
No. Well, the layering thing is just the fact that they're going to have these massive 3,000 shards together. There's only going to be 3 on a server instead of, dude, sharding was going to be like 40, 30 people in a shard. Like in your starting zone, you were going to shard into a group of 40 players. That was my impression. And so the fact that we're going from 40 to 3,000, again, Cargos, I just don't think that we fully understand what layering is, but if that's how it works, it's completely different. And would be a good solution. And yes, it could still be abusable. You could switch between 2 or 3 servers, but compared to 40 shards, I don't know. I don't know if it would be 40. It might only be 20 shards, but I think it's a bigger solution, a bigger difference than what we're thinking. I don't know.
Yeah. I agree. I think it might even go to 100 shards if it's like 30 people each shard in each zone. So it's an entirely different experience. You have the chaos from the launch. You have all that, but you don't have the queue time. The only bad thing that's quite big is I meet a lot of people. I've met in the past. I've met a lot of people on the low levels. So if I went to the Dead Mines, for example, I met some friends. With which I played in Molten Core, even in my guild back then. So those people will probably be on a different layer, and so you will not meet them anymore, and you will not keep them as friends. So but that's only for the first 3 weeks, right?
Right. And again,
you never know though, man. Like it could be, it could be for into phase 2. Like what if, like what you said, Dan, if they're screwed. The server's super populated, and this will probably happen for some of the really popular servers. You know, servers build up a reputation, right? Some servers are going to build up a reputation as this is the PvP realm. This is where all the top-end PvPers go. What if that server does not die down in population? Blizzard's going to have layering in their back pocket, and you could see layering into phase 2, phase 3.
Well, they promised they will not have it in phase 2.
What would they do?
That's like, I feel like they have to put queue times. They have to cap it at a certain number, let's say 3K, and they have to offer... yeah, they have to offer free transfers. If they don't do it, it will fail, I guess.
Yeah, but Cargos, I mean, you're completely right. Yeah, it would suck to have this go into phase 2, and I don't want to give Blizzard any room, but just coming from the blue post and dude, the way it felt, they're like, if you're worried about sharding, don't worry about it. You know, we really only wanted a few weeks, and that's the kind of personal feel that I've gotten from the blue post lately. Is that they really are in tune with what we want. But I don't know. I don't know. It's something to be.
I guess they have better estimates of how the population will probably behave, but they cannot be entirely sure, right? But I feel like they must have a scenario in which the layers will all have the 3K. I mean, they must have a scenario in which population will go to 9K and it will not drop down, and they must have a solution for that.
Yeah,
it's not possible that they haven't thought of that, right?
I'm excited to see these stress tests and see how these things roll out and see how many people we can actually have in one zone at a time without the server crashing. I think that's going to give us a better idea of what to expect in layering in the weeks to come, in the months to come.
But what actually got me kind of excited, excited is not the right word, kind of got me to accept layering, is the fact that it will probably have the same chaotic feeling as it would have like with the real launch without sharding, as Grace explained, basically. So that's a good thing in my opinion. And also they said they might not even add layers if it's not needed. So if there are enough servers, I guess they will first try to fill all the servers and then add layers to each server in case it's needed. I think. Hey, I'm not sure.
Def Camp, how's it going over there, dude? You've been quiet.
He's chilling, dude.
I'm doing good, guys. I'm just talking to chat, but you know, one of the main things that you guys like with the layering, I don't know if they're going to plan on testing that later on, but I definitely do feel like the whole layering thing. I don't know. To me, like after I heard that whole report that it's only going to be a couple weeks to a month, I was just kind of like, whatever it is, it's really doesn't seem like that big of a deal, honestly. So I'm just kind of like, whatever happens. It's only going to be there for a couple weeks to a month.
Yeah, it's I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, but we're potentially. Yeah, we can. I'll say one last thing real quick. Corey C, for dual leveling double Warlock, would you go double Voidwalker or one gets Imp? So in our testing, it seemed we tried both. Double Voidwalker seems to be the play. At the early levels, you don't really have mana issues on your Voidwalker, though. We'll see. That's TBD. We'll see how the mana. If you're you can have it on autocast taunt. People say never do that as a best practice as a Warlock, but you really don't have mana issues, so it's not a huge deal. But what you can do is you can have one Warlock with a Voidwalker on autocast torment and the other one not, and then you can cycle through their mana. So one guy will be on autocast, and then if that Voidwalker does become at some point, you can switch over to the other Voidwalker, and that other Voidwalker will regen. So
yeah, okay.
There could the last part I was gonna say, sorry, real quick, is that there could be a manipulation of spawn times too, though. So we could be it's possible. I think the community's got to hold Blizzard accountable. Potentially, maybe we can review old vanilla footage. But if there is a situation where some of these quest mobs and quest rewards are shared, or there's a reduced respawn time on some of these, now we're potentially dealing with an environment where there's some sort of layering or sharding and some sort of manipulation of respawns, all to improve quality of life in Classic. And that's something we have to think about.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you want it to be as close to Blizz-like as it was in the past. But yeah, so transitioning on, I just want to hit on this, Cargos, and you and Navik and Egregious, everybody was onto it, dude. Duo leveling kicks ass in vanilla. That's all I'm going to say.
Just wait. One more thing to layering. Just a small thing. Someone asked, what happens if the population cap of a layer is 3K and it goes to 3.3K, for example? Will there be a layer of 300 population? So that's not how it will work. Yeah. So basically, if the cap is like 3K for a layer, they will allow it to go to like 4.5K actually over the cap, and then split the layers in two. So there will not be small layers. They will always be kind of big. So that's kind of, I think that's good.
So am I incorrect to say, though, that all of these problems could be fixed by just creating a lot of servers and then merging and consolidating them down? That would, like...
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
that's basically what they... Yeah, that's basically what they try to do in another way. But yeah, that's right. And I don't get me wrong, I'd rather have no layering, no sharding, no nothing, and have it like you say. That's what I want to have, but that's not going to happen. So
yeah,
I'm trying to see the good things and the bad things, but I kind of think it's better than sharding and better than dynamic respawn. So yeah.
Well, anyways, yeah, dude. So duo leveling, guys. Everybody in the chat right now, everybody watching, and Cargo's doing it today. I've been watching streamers lately, and I saw Asmongold and Esfon, and I'll be honest, they were screwing around. They weren't being as efficient as possible. And then I was watching Stay Safe as well. And they ended up passing Stay Safe. Stay Safe was going as hard as he could as a warlock. You know, you can say he was leveling as quickly as, you know, his capability. But anyways, Asmongold and Stay Safe just cruised past him at one point just because the sheer power of duo leveling. And I want to point out that they pointed out that in a 2-man group, say you get 100 experience by yourself on a solo kill. Well, in a 2-man group, both players actually get 60 experience. So they're saying that it's not cut in half, dude. Whoa. Yeah. On the beta, that's what happened. It's actually like 120% or 20% increase.
Is that Blizz-like confirmed? Does anybody can? That's insane. That's insane. You're telling me there's a group bonus with everything. 2 people. Holy shit! Then dual leveling BIS forever.
That was never on private servers. So this is brand new to the Classic WoW beta. I think that's the only place that it's recorded like that. But yeah, dude, it is game changing.
Wait. So say that again.
So. Or sorry, yeah,
with a number example. So let's say you normally get 100 XP.
Yeah, in a 2-man group, you would get 60 experience. It was like a 20% increase. But that's the specific example I heard Stay Safe use, and he was specifically complaining about Asmongold and Asfon catching up to him. But he said that was the numbers that they were pulling in. You actually had an increased XP experience in a group.
Okay.
And from all the people that I saw grouping up together, they were leveling. They all leveled faster than anybody going solo. It was amazing.
And honestly, like you said, Grays, they weren't going super hard with it too. Like I saw Soda Poppin' and Guzu. Much love to him, but I'm saying like he wasn't going dagger ambush spec. I would have totally gone dagger ambush spec. Like he was. I don't know. Like I saw him. I don't know. Stuff like that.
Yeah,
Warrior Pally isn't a god tier dual leveling comp.
Yeah, the best example is Stay Safe was trying. He was working his ass off. I know he was. I was just keeping tabs on everybody, and all the duo levelers, like you said, they were screwing around and they were killing him, dude. It was awesome. It just made me happy. So everybody in the chat, dude, you better get ready for these duo level groups. You better have your partner ready come launch, because it's the new meta, man. There's a lot of undiscovered, but we'll see.
Duo leveling is a lot of fun.
I kind of like that, actually. You always felt like it was bad to level in a duo until Cargo said it was good. I mean, it just
dude, everyone's duo leveling. You notice that, like, literally everyone. They're like, oh, but no one's calling it duo leveling. I'm like, call it what it is and give Cargos a damn credit. Like, come on.
I appreciate it.
I'm double leveling. No, it's duo leveling, and it's made by Cargos.
It's a lot of fun, guys.
So,
try it out.
DevCamp, would you say leveling is faster, slower, or just as fast as private servers?
See, here's the thing, right? I've been leveling kind of slow because I wanted to make my wand. I took my time. Yesterday I was kind of messing around, talking to everybody. But it does feel like when I'm straight up grinding. But here's the thing, like the gear difference, having this wand that's really powerful, I definitely feel like if I put time to it, I'll be leveling a little bit faster. I feel like just because of the how strong the wand is right now. I think.
So that's only for wand users, or because I heard like it would be 30% slower on the beta than on the private servers.
I talked to Navik and Ale yesterday, and they said that in Egregious, their guide that they wrote out, it was consistent from private server to this Classic WoW demo, so there wasn't a 30% decrease.
Okay. Yeah, there wasn't. Can I quickly shout out Navik too, by the way? Navik's streaming right now. He just went live. So my man Navik has been my dual leveling partner in crime for the past weeks. We've been hitting the lab. We call it the lab, when we hit the PTR and we start grinding and testing stuff. And he's come up with an amazing leveling route, and he went solo warrior. And he was out leveling all the duo levelers out there. He was ahead of Feral Druid Rogue, which is insane in the early levels. He was absolutely killing it. First time streaming. I think he did the whole 24-hour stream. Solo warrior. Just goes to show how awesome vanilla is. It's player over class a lot of the time, and who's going to put in that work. Solo warrior in the Barrens holding it down. If you were watching the stream yesterday, he was killing it. Shout out to Navi.
He was killing it. But by the way, I just killed 6 Zephyrs and got 4 hoofs.
It doesn't feel right, does it?
That does not feel right, right?
I
come
saw
on.
that too. I saw everybody leveling in the Barrens. They were picking up quest rewards like crazy, dude, and it was driving me. It was making me sick over here watching it. I mean, it may be Blizz-like, but I don't know. I swear I remember killing zebras for days, man.
Yeah, there's
Back in the
some
day,
spots
I don't know.
though. I can't wait to show you guys. Like, there's some areas with a lot of zebras. There's some areas that Navic calls Raptor Heaven. For those of you guys doing the Raptor quest, all this shit I want to show you guys when we can stream it, man. Like, there's some really weird stuff. I'll tell you right now. Like, there's weird mountain peaks that it's just on the top of a mountain. There's like 20 raptors, and you're like,
No way.
what? Like, I never do this. Like, there's cool stuff like that. But
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, and so that we can go into that a little bit, Cargos. The fact that there's a lot of these things on this Classic WoW, this beta so far that aren't on private servers. There's so many mechanics, whether it's patrolling guards, the amount of mobs that are spawned, the way mob abilities work. These things had to be fired up on private servers. Like, you had to put the code in for these things, and a lot of private servers didn't do that. And so this demo, it looks, from what I've seen, obviously I haven't played it, but it looks completely different than private servers in the past. And I'll point out, dude, one thing that blew me away, and it really upset me because I made a guide or two implementing the treasure chests in the starter zones and the drop rates on the classic database, and then on all the private servers that we've played in the past, they've used classic DB, all these other databases that have been pulled in the past. The 1 to 10 treasure chests in the starting zones are supposed to guarantee, and this is how it works on all the databases, at least this is what it shows. It guarantees a reagent, a consumable, a white or trash item, and then a green item. 1 of 7 green items. There's 3 weapons, an offhand, and 3 pants, mail, cloth, and leather. And those are guaranteed drops in every treasure chest in the 1 to 10 zone, and that's how it's been on all private servers.
Mhm.
Yesterday, Navic opened up over 10 chests, didn't get a single green. And I
Wow.
saw that consistently with everybody else. There's no guaranteed.
That seems a
treasure
little
chest.
low, man. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if private servers had it jacked up a little bit, but 10 chests, not a single green? He's either the
Yeah,
unluckiest
that's
man
crazy,
or-
dude. I haven't come through any chests yet. I think I did 1, maybe, but there wasn't any greens there either. So I just dropped the Zephyr quest. I'm gonna pick it up again and do it again and see how many Zephyrs it takes this time to get it.
Oh, nice. Good for the stream. But anyways, it doesn't that, like, that blew me away. The fact that some of these for sure things, that's really not how it worked in Classic WoW, apparently. I don't know, dude. The aggro range, Def Camp. What has the aggro range felt like to you? Because from what I've seen, people pulling mobs that I felt like mobs next to the mob that they pulled should have came to them, they didn't come to them. And then whenever they strafe or run around mobs, 3 levels higher than them, they don't aggro from like 20 yards away. Rather, it's like 15, almost 10 yards, dude. Which is significantly less than what I've seen on private servers, than what it's felt like on what I've seen on everybody else besides these official demos. Has that been the case for you in this demo? Like, the aggro range, has it been significantly less? Has it felt like that?
Def Camp?
He's probably talking to chat or something right now.
Okay,
Oh.
yeah. But anyways, dude, I in chat, for you guys that have seen everybody, I know y'all have had to have seen it. It almost looks easier. Like the play. I mean, you don't end up pulling 20 mobs at a time whenever you feel like you should, or like 2 or 3 mobs around a single mob that you pulled, and just running around mobs. I don't know if you guys got the same impression as me from what I've seen on all these streams, but that's a big deal, dude. That changes the entire play style, right? That changes the entire leveling experience.
It does. I hope it's not. I hope it's not Blizz-like. But I was thinking many of these things, like the fast regeneration DevCam talks about, and what you just said, is that probably a 1.12 thing that wasn't in there before 1.12?
I don't know. There's just so many things like that. I'm pointing this out because this demo is so different than the private server experience that we've all really had in the past.
Dude, I just can't wait to someday, one day, in the distant future, be able to get my hands on it, man. Someday.
Dude,
We
I
have,
will say
we have a new donation, by the way.
Oh, great.
Thanks for the awesome content, Elwin Safari.
and just the feel of it, dude. How many of you guys were psyched for this beta? I mean, everybody was psyched. They're like, the beta's coming out. Well, hopefully we get in.
Okay, this is a good.
And then just the feel of it.
This is the good point. The transition. This is good. I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, guys. The overall overarching positive note is that the game's in a better state than it was in the demo, and it's looking way less scuffed. IMO. There's still obviously stuff to fix, but we got 3.5 months to fix it. Thank you for the 2 quid, Hasko. Appreciate it. So what I will say is, right now it seems like there's like 1,000 people playing the beta right now. To me, what this looks like, this looks like a friends and family. This is like what should have been like a friends and family internal alpha. There's not that many people playing. This is not some large-scale beta. It's very small at the moment. There's only a couple servers. This is what I would have imagined the Friends and Family Alpha to be. Instead, this is a closed beta. This is able to be streamed. And I do feel that the execution and the way they rolled out the invites to this beta could have been improved. And I'm trying to do this with the least amount of salt possible. What I will say is it does feel kind of clicky at the moment. It does feel like Blizzard did kind of handpick the people that they wanted to be in the beta, and that there was a degree of nepotism involved, and people were able to extend these invitations to their close friends and family. And again, like I said, much in line to the whole friends and family alpha type thing. But I do, as a streamer, as a content creator, me personally, I would want to have as much of a shot as any of you guys in the chat to get into this damn thing. If your account fell into a certain flagged criteria, let's say, you know, if you're a 2004, 2005, 2006 BC player, and you've had an account that long, and you know you fit the criteria, you should have just as much of a shot to get into the beta as myself. And it's a type of thing where I just wanted it to be even Steven fair, man. Like, you go to the DMV, you hop in line, you wait through the line, you get there, man. It's almost like going to a theme park and you want to get on the roller coaster, and you just want to get in line, and sometimes you low roll and you don't get into the top 1K, and that's all good. You low rolled, you know, good for the people who got in. But instead, it doesn't feel that way. I'll pause there though. Do you guys have any thoughts on this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, almost all my guilds subscribed and opted in for the beta, and there's actually no one, not a single one, who's invited. So that kind of it proves what you say, right?
Oh yeah, and I heard streamers all day. I told this guy to get in, and he got in. All the people that I suggested to get in, most of them got in, and it's just like, and I'm not trying to be a pessimist, but even and I mean, this isn't just streamers, people that want to get in and create content, or just kind of get a one up on everybody else. But like, even for you guys, I got the feel everybody's pissed off. I mean, everybody's frustrated. Like, dude, the beta's coming out. Yes, I can't wait. You know, we're gonna have a shot. You know, like you said, we're all gonna sub. And dude, so many people made subs yesterday, expecting to get a fair shot at this, and everybody's kind of salty.
It doesn't feel like a fair shot. That's what I'm saying, man. I want it to be even Steven. And this is a content creator. I mean, it does seem like they have their eyes set on certain content creators. They want them in the beta to promote it. It's a marketing move. I get it. I think that there's a strong possibility that line makes sense, that like having select streamers play the game for an extended period of time will equate out to more eyeballs on the game, to more people playing.
For sure.
But I see ethical complications with that. It makes it feel like it's high school. It makes it feel like you have this like clique of varsity jocks, and then a lot of people are just kind of not in that clique. They're not in that on that team, and then they just get shit out of luck. But it's not even the type of thing that's closed and internal. It's open. You can stream it. You can ride the hype train that everyone has been looking forward to for months and months on end.
It's like you said, this should have been the alpha, or the closed friends and family beta, and it should not have been like a public, you know, open to public closed beta.
Well, I'll share this, dude, and this is something that's frustrating for me, and I'll let this out, and I won't harp on it anymore. But dude, as someone that's trying to make content, someone that's trying to, you know, create a community through this game, like you said, Gargos, these guys got the keys to the castle. These guys have the ability to make YouTube videos. I can't make content anymore. Like, I don't want to. The only content people want to watch now is the beta, and they want to watch streamable content. And then I want to, like you said, your leveling guides. I want to create guides, my dungeon guides with the final statistics. I want to be able to put these guys together and put these things out and have a fair shot as everybody else. They're all going to get an upper hand on me. And I mean, that's fine, but it's just like, how long is this going to go on? Are they going to have a whole month of creating YouTube videos and streaming it over me? Like, someone that's trying to make beneficial videos for the community. Like, I want these dungeon guides to be legit, dude. And it's just annoying to me that
I don't want to think about it in competitive terms. I don't like to think about things like I'm competing against another person. All I'm saying is I just wanted the community as a whole to get a fair shot at it and for it to be transparent. Blizzard goes, here's an algorithm. Here's our criteria for getting into the beta. Everybody apply. First come, first serve. You could be a streamer. You could just be Joe Schmo on the street. You played since vanilla. You should have an equal shot of getting in. And if streamers do make it in, that's good for the game. Absolutely agree. You can be able to promote it over the next 3.5 months. But it doesn't feel like it was honestly done, openly and transparently done, the invite. So that'd be my only piece of feedback there. Stormpinned Win, subscribe to tier 1. Welcome to the channel, man. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to the channel. So
yeah, and I'm probably looking at it. I mean, and it's just the last 24 hours. So I mean, it's one of those things you just gotta kind of let it sit and just ride the wave. And that's the best thing for us all to do. It's just
they say most
from my
dedicated
perspective
fans
is wanting to make
kind of
content.
feels personal.
It's just annoying because I'm kind of at a standstill. I don't want to make a stupid video over private server data.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not an official footage.
$2
So
from Dead of Night. Thank you for the $2, my man. I don't know.
So that also brings us kind of to the release date, 27th of August. So what do you think of that?
I think it's good. We got a lot of time to test the game and improve the game. And I hope that they do. I mean, I'm sure they will. They're going to test this layering stuff. If they're going to do layering, test the shit out of it during the beta, because I want to get all the hackers and the memers and the people in there that know of creative ways to exploit this layering thing and get them in the beta, man. Don't get me in the beta. Get those people in and try and abuse the shit out of layering and find every possible way, you know, of resetting AoE packs, of dodging ganks, all this stuff. Test the layering thing as much as possible. We have plenty of time, 3.5 months.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit later than you expected, or is it right where you expected it?
Certainly later. I think a lot of people are a little salty about that because Blizzard promised a Classic summer. We're going to get like 4 days of summer once Classic is released, and a lot of people, like yourself included, you're going to have like a week to play it before you have to go to work. That sucks, dude.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But, well, I was a little salty. But that's the least of the problems right now. I mean, it comes out, so I can wait a month more. I've waited multiple years, so it doesn't really matter that much. The layering was the first of my issues, but I kind of, after a few days, I kind of like everything they said. So, yeah, it sucks that I can only play like 4 days in my holiday, and I basically just have 2 months of holiday without Classic.
Yeah. I've noticed a few bugs, guys. So like when I leveled up, right, it says your skill in Shadow Magic and your skill in Discipline and your skill in Holy has increased to 65.
What? Your skill in Holy?
Yeah.
What?
Your skills, your skill in Holy, your skill in Shadow Magic, and your skill in Discipline has increased to 60.
That's funny, man. New mechanic,
That's
man.
Awesome.
That's fucking weird, dude.
That's like 1 point. That's like the original beta stuff, right?
Yeah, yeah, it is. Wow.
So the August 27th release date, dude, for all the college people, I got 1 more semester. I'm probably going to push it back to 1 more year now. I think a lot of college students are going to be salty. As myself, it's the first week of school, dude. August 26th is my first day of class, and I'm definitely going to be skipping my first week of classes, so.
Yeah, I can't skip it, so. Yeah, it would be strange as a teacher, right? But yeah, I guess it will mean that I need a month more to get level 60, something like that. I cannot play 24/7 when I have to work, right? So,
I just thought of a good way of putting this, man. So what I would have done, I don't want to present a bunch of problems with no solutions, because then you're just whining, then you're just complaining, and like, you know, you got to present solutions. So one alternative way this could have been done is to do this closed beta, this closed, randomly selected beta, do it as an internal alpha, and just continue to develop out the game until the point that it was ready for a more open scale beta. Even if they did the thing like the demo, imagine they charged $15 for access to the beta. You know, a lot of people already paid that $15 anyway just to resub and get a shot at it, right? And then at that point, it's like available to anyone. You know, they've developed it out further, they've tested it a little bit more, so they feel a little more confident. And instead of a 1K beta that we have now, maybe we have like a 10K or 15K beta that's open to everybody, and it's gated behind some $15 payment or a resub or whatever. That would be a solution, potentially another solution. Just throwing it out there.
I hope they realize not those 10 million subs they have now. That's not because BFA is that good. So
yeah, it's funny. You know that new World of Warcraft cinematic came out? Did you watch that by chance? Anybody watch that? Probably not.
No.
Okay, probably not. It's funny.
I'd love to see
There's a
that.
new cinematic. It was all right. The way the orcs look, a little funky. But I saw it's a BFA cinematic, and a lot of people who play BFA were commenting, and they're like, "Yo, World of Warcraft #1 on Twitch, dude! It's coming back. Like, feels good, man." And they're thinking it was like the BFA hype, like the trailer hype had World of Warcraft at #1 on Twitch, man. It's funny, man. I don't know. Sorry,
Yeah.
buddy. It wasn't BFA.
maybe it's like a good measurement to have kind of an idea how many people will actually be there at launch. The number of subs they gained yesterday and the day before.
Oh, I can't imagine. I'm sure it was insane.
Yeah, I think so. Many people don't even have BFA and they subbed anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
Right.
okay, so some people are saying funky, right? Like, someone asked about funky. How do you guys feel? Anybody watch the Warcraft movie?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly not the best example of this because they still look more or less badass,
Mhm.
but I've seen like a whole shift in the direction of art style with BFA and a lot of stuff. It radiates across Hearthstone and all the entirety of the Warcraft IP, from going from the more serious, badass, dark fantasy to the more cutesy anime, Chinese microtransaction mobile game type shift, man. I see that radiating, that manifests in the art style. Does that bother you guys at all, or do you like how it's more maybe open to people, a wider range of people, if it's more, you know, cartoonized or anything like that?
I don't really mind the change in art style. I kind of like the cinematics in BFA. It's one of the
Okay.
the good things in BFA, in my opinion.
Okay, good. That's fine.
And you talk about the movie. I kind of wish they did what they do in the cinematics for the movie instead what they did now. So the movie looks kind of weird, right? You have those computer models, and then you have the real people, and it doesn't really fit together all that well all the time. So I would rather have seen the cinematic style in the entire movie. Would probably have been a better movie.
That was the dream forever, right? To get that original World of Warcraft cinematic as a full feature-length movie. Oh god.
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Is the dream dead? I hope not. I hope we can get that someday.
Probably. However, I don't know. The movie wasn't a big success. So, what do you think about it, Grace?
I don't know. I don't really have an opinion too much on what the movie came out or not. I didn't end up watching the movie overall, but I just spaced out. What was the point you made on it? Just
I'm just
the
saying,
idea
just-
that it
just-
wasn't as
I guess I didn't really have a huge point. I'm just venting a little bit here. The art direction has shifted, right? And this is part of the reason why people are so excited about Classic. And you see the new cinematics, you see the new BFA cinematics. Some people really enjoy them, but someone in the chat said it best. Jaina looks like she's right out of Frozen. I feel like I'm thinking about Moana and Lion King and Rapunzel
that's fair.
and Tangled. It looks like that to me, and that's going to be good for for younger kids and people of a wider
right.
audience, right?
Oh, I will say no, and it looks kind of gross, dude, because obviously I subbed and I got onto my old account now. Some of the older, newer characters I created, and I guess they had the new model on it, and yeah, it did look like Frozen, and it's a total turnoff. At least someone that's played vanilla and they're used to the old graphics. I could see more appeal. I don't know. I could see more appeal to the old graphics. It feels more rustic. It feels more
Rustic,
hardcore,
great
right?
word. Great word.
Yeah, it feels. It obviously it fits in with going back in time, but it does have this hardcore element to it of like it's not soft.
I don't know.
If that's
But
a good description. of it.
The old graphics is something different than the old cinematics. I mean, the old graphics, yes, 100% of the times the old graphics and the old models, but the cinematics, I don't really mind if they are updated in style.
Okay.
No.
It's fair. I like we have a diversity of opinions though, so it doesn't bother you. You know what I mean? That's cool. That's cool.
So Death Camp, are you here?
Is that?
Yeah, Death Camp. I've
Killing those
question for
plane
you.
striders, dude. Getting those beaks.
Yeah, dude.
You
I'm
getting those
sorry. I'm
beaks?
talking to the chat and shit. We're noticing a few bugs, man. We noticed a few bugs.
What do you got? What do you got?
Well, we got that. Dude, I must have reported like 12 bugs so far. So just a couple of things. Like I found like a couple of invisible mobs inside trees and shit like that. Some spell animations. I got the I noticed like the numbers were off. Some things like the with the discipline shadow thing, dude. And I did the quest twice for the Zephyrs. I killed 6 and I got 4, and then I killed 7 and I got 4. That seems way too high. So I reported that, and you know, I mean, from what I remember, like back in the day, that Zephyr quest was a pain in the ass, and I feel like even private servers had it too easy.
Huh, interesting.
So how is the running speed? Does it feel like the
Oh,
demo?
running speed feels fine. Yeah, absolutely feels fine.
Are you noticing any spell batching?
When I was doing, so I did a duel, and it was kind of hard to tell, but it does seem like it's still batching the same like it was. Yeah.
Okay. I also heard that mages cannot cheap targets from other players. That's right.
They can't cheap what?
Targets from other players.
Really?
Yeah. But you didn't see that yet, I guess.
Someone messaged me earlier. They said something about CC. Okay, they said, yeah, Ztox. Shout out to Ztox. Hey, man, another bug for you. It looks like all CC abilities are Kata Plus mechanics that need to be fixed. They all stop momentum. I don't know what this means. Spell batching momentum is the term. He actually linked a little clip and stuff like that. Let me see if I can figure it out.
Defcam, did you support some ticket about the regeneration? Because I think it's quite a huge thing. It's probably gone again.
Yeah.
Spell batching momentum. Maybe someone in the chat understands it. Does that ring a bell? I've never heard that phraseology used before. Okay.
Yeah, that the mana and health regeneration is such a weird thing, and so imagine this. Imagine the few amount of players that they have in this open beta right now. If they had tripled or quadrupled the size of the beta, how many extra tickets do you think they would have gotten over some of these issues? And I think that's a big reason why they have it as small of a beta as it is right now. So maybe we can speculate on some future beta keys, beta invites going out.
Apparently, some people got invited today. I'll just throw that out there. Some people are able to access it today. So there is hope. If those of you guys feel like it's GG for the next 3.5 months, it seems like they may be trickling them out.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick, Intensity. Sorry, my bad. Subscribe to tier 1. Thank you very much. 2 months from Intensity, guys. Thank you for the renewed subscriptions. That is insane. Thank you. Sorry, man. Go ahead, Chris.
Yeah. No. I was just trying to speculate on how long maybe it would take for you to expect more beta invites. But if you said like there were confirmations of new invites today, that's something for everybody to look out for. I don't know. What are we trying to get out of this beta? What is the number one thing? If this thing is 3 months long, and that's the other thing, nobody's really they haven't confirmed how long this beta is going to be. But what are we trying to get out of it? Obviously, the most polished playstyle up to this point, but it feels like a lot of people, they just want to get in the beta. They just want to play. They want something to do. And myself included, because a lot of people aren't playing games right now. So I don't know. There's this weird divide of, if we were to get in and play, are we really just playing the game or are we testing it? Which
definitely want to test it, because it seems like I had never seen an unpolished Blizzard product before the demo. The demo was the first sign of like weakness in Blizzard to me. Like I'd never seen anything that was just that, like that seemed that rushed or anything before. You know what I mean? So it made it seem like we really need to be accountable here and try and actually put in that work as a community. Sorry, go ahead, Dune.
Did you play Heroes of the Storm?
I did, yeah. I played the beta and I got the founder pack and all that stuff. Was it scuffed?
The beta was good. No, the beta was good, but then they changed it to the 2 whatever version, and the entire rating system failed. And basically everything you did for a week didn't matter. So that was quite a huge bug. People were sad. Mad, and people left the game. And many of my friends left the game, and then basically a few months after that, the game died. So it's not the first time they put out some unpolished stuff, I guess. So what do I want to see from a beta?
Yeah.
I would like to see. I would basically just want to know how it feels. If it feels like different from private servers, and if it feels like closer to what I remember vanilla WoW was. So the regeneration rates are quite big to me. The speed of leveling. Something I would really like to see is how hard raid bosses and dungeons are, but that's a little early right now, I guess.
Absolutely.
But maybe the most interesting thing for me would be like Molten Core is it harder than we remember it, or
Right.
how does it go?
Well, and that's another thing, dude. And I've heard, I don't know where I heard it from. I was jumping through streams all day yesterday, but in interviews and what I've heard in the last 2 or 3 days is people talking about the armor and resistance values, not just on dungeon and raid bosses, but literally every single mob in the game. These armor values, these resistance values are different, and if you think about it, those are things that apparently all these private servers didn't necessarily have the data for in the past. Those are numbers you had to plug in for each and every single mob. And so I'm really, that's just another thing I'm really interested about. Some of those other points I brought up was the drop loops on the treasure chest, the aggro ranges, guards killing mobs and stuff like that. Dude, all those little details put together, it really puts together a completely different experience than anybody's used to, that anybody remembers. Like, dude, Classic WoW is going to be, it really is going to be a different game than vanilla, than these private servers. And that's one thing, that's one really good thing I've seen in the last day or two, is this thing's going to be completely different. The way you play, the way you kill mobs, the way you level, it's just going to have a different feel. So that's one really positive thing I've seen in the last few days, just because there's a lot of unknown, and everybody talks about the longevity of the game, and it's already figured out, and it's not going to last. It's just nostalgia. I think it's more than that. So I don't know. We'll see.
So I feel like we should probably go and talk about some light and fun stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
Something that's always interesting to think about is which class you want to play, and we thought about that quite a lot for the real classic launch. But now we have a beta, and we probably will get into beta at one point. Would you like to play the same class? Would you like to play the same, or would you like to play something entirely different? Would you play, for example, an orc warlock in your case, Cargos, or would you go
if we have 3 months to play 1 to 30, I'm gonna level everything. I'm gonna level everything. I want to master to 1 to 30 on everything, because right now all I have mastered as far as 1 to 30 is Duratar, Baron, Stone Talon, Ashen Veil, that whole route. So much to learn on the Night Elf side. I really want to learn Darkshore. Darkshore on the Alliance side is apparently the best XP per hour. Even if you're dwarves or whatever, like they often go to the Night Elf area because it's so good XP per hour. It's apparently the best progression on the Alliance side. That again, that's if you're trying to go try hard mode or something like that. But all that stuff I want to learn, all the other alternative routes and stuff. And I love leveling so much. I love 1 to 30. I would have just loved to give it my best shot and try and speed level right now against everybody playing. But it's all right. No, I don't know. I'm gonna level everything.
So you wouldn't feel like you would get burned out or anything from doing it too many times?
Fuck no, absolutely not. Like I'm the type of dude that I just love leveling. A lot of people can't stand it. They can't stand leveling. They're just waiting to get to end game. I really enjoy it. I don't know, for some reason I'm crazy like that. Like
no, it's part of the game.
I'll make my character, I'll get to level 8 or 9 or something. I'll make one single mistake if I'm streaming, and I'll feel like I look like an idiot, and I'll delete the character and start it again. I don't know.
I'll tell you what, dude, leveling this priest feels so fucking good. Like I love leveling a priest. Like it's so much fun. Once you get this wand, it's so powerful. But I mean, I could level a priest over and over and over again. It's the one class I just fucking love it, dude. A lot of people think it's boring. I love it, and it feels so good. And to answer your question, when you answered doing a game like earlier, it does feel different than private servers. It does, right? But I'm not sure if it feels closer to vanilla. It's been so long, right? But I'll tell you what, it feels okay, and it feels right. Like, it feels good. It doesn't feel like things are way off. Going for a beta, like things feel very much the way they should be. I'm still a little not sure about if the regen is ticking a little bit faster. And however, I will say this, that the strength of the wand makes a big difference. But everything else included, like, it's not too different from prior. It's not like how the demo was. It feels so much more refined than the demo, honestly. Very smooth.
Did you make a report about the regen rates?
Yeah, I reported. I wanted to wait for the regen rates, right? Because I'm still level 13. Well, what am I, 13 now? I was gonna wait until I was level 10. Here's the thing, right? I'm not using a lot of mana. I'm literally just wanding all the time, so it's really hard to base it off of off of what I'm doing. Like, if I was a mage, it would probably be completely different. You know what I mean?
Something really stupid, probably, but something I'd like to know is, if you make it through it and you cast rats, how many rats can you cast at level 1?
Right.
Would you
I don't know.
Could you test it for me? Because it changed in vanilla. When you made it, like in the early days, you could cast like 3 reds, 2 to 3 reds, and then you were out of mana. And at the end of vanilla, you could cast a lot more, and the regen went up as well. So I would really like to know how it goes.
Yeah, Dunedain, and I think you're referring to the level 1 statistics for all the races and classes. They vary completely. A gnome mage has a different amount of mana than a troll
that
mage.
Also, for a druid it doesn't really make.
But dude, at level 1, I was able to spam like a shit ton of smites, like a lot, and I was killing everything in 3 smites. I was basically able to spam about 8 smites at level 1, something like that.
Yeah, Def Camp. I went through all the priests whenever I was doing one of those guides in the past, and it's crazy, dude. Some races can do like 8 smites, and some can do like 3. With the base mana that we start off with. Yeah, and I don't know. I obviously, that's how they intended it originally, but it's crazy how different each class and race is from level 1 just because of their base stats. And yeah, so if Dunedain, if I were to get in the beta, what would I do? Honestly, I would carve out a lot of the dual leveling, like Cargo said. After what I saw yesterday, in the difference in dual leveling compared to solo leveling, nobody has tested this out. And I know Cargos, a lot of you guys have been doing stuff on, all these other servers with different numbers and stuff, but dude, it's going to be a completely different game whenever you actually have the official numbers. And there's going to be different strategies. There's going to be different ways to play it. The theory crafting is endless, and that's something that really intrigues me. And so yeah, it's interesting. That's what I would be doing if I was in the beta. I don't know. Is that what the beta's intended for?
I just hope I get in, man. I would do a level with Def Camp, and it would be chill, right? I'd be able to do a level with Def Camp. We'd be able to go Warlock Priest. Then I'd be able to do a level with Navik. Then I'd be able to do a level with Dunedain, because it doesn't matter that much, It's not the real game. It would be sick, guys. Please, Ragnaros, bless me with a beta invite, dude. I want to try all the different class combinations from 1, find all the little nuances and tips and tricks. It's gonna help me make the guides.
Just give it to us.
Please,
dude, I need someone to play with so bad, guys. Like, I literally grouped up like 3 times. There's not enough people on.
So, Grace, would you make a druid if you get into the beta?
Yeah. So I'm gonna main a druid, and I would make a druid. That'd be the first character that I made. I think
that would be Horde or Alliance.
Horde, absolutely. Yeah, dude, I can't do Alliance. I'm gonna level through it just because the Alliance zones are so beautiful in just the storyline. I'm really interested in following. But yeah, dude, I'm going Torn Druid all the way. And yeah, so I hear your point. Would you feel burned out by the time the game comes out? The thing is, I think everybody, for the most part, everybody's had their main character that they've played, whether it's on private servers or even in the past they've fantasized about, oh, this is the player I played in the past and this is what I'm gonna do. They don't really get tired of it, right? This main character. So I think everybody that gets in, they're going to play their main and in the beta, and they're going to get to launch and they're going to love it. I'm really interested to see how long the game lasts for me whenever I play different classes. If I enjoy all the classes, I don't know. I obviously, and that's the thing about vanilla, dude. The play styles of each class and each talent spec are so different. They're completely different games you could play. So I'm curious if there's 9 times 3. There's 9 classes, 3 talent specs. There's 27 different, run-throughs I could do with the game. I don't think that's true because,
and just because you're a certain talent spec, though, you don't have to play it in a certain way. So, like an elemental shaman, you don't have to just play as a lightning bolt caster. You know what I mean? Like you can, the elemental talents will still be almost more advantageous for that melee playstyle. Even so, so like there's not only are all these different talent trees, different talents, but each class combination you go, if you do plan on dual leveling, can offer different talents to you and different playstyles and different specs. So.
Sure. Yeah. There's 40 different ways to play the game. And it's weird. Like how many of those playstyles are going to be available to me? How many am I going to enjoy playing? I think it comes down to the playstyle. Like seriously, I don't think I'm going to enjoy leveling a warrior and playing a warrior. I don't know, just the melee combat to combat. I know druids kind of like that a lot too, but for some reason the playstyle of the warrior doesn't interest me. So maybe I'm going to be limited to like 15 playthroughs. I don't know, but I don't see myself burning out very soon, just as well as everybody else that's hyped up for this game. I don't see them burning out.
Dude, we can do a level 2 Grays, man. We can go like druid or like druid,
dude, and that
rogue.
dual leveling, dude.
It'd be fun, man. Like we can do these runs every other day. Like you can get to 30 in a day if you go super try hard. But like you...
I would really like to try it. If we get into the beta, we do Cargos. or a
I'm, su-
priest.
I'm surprised
dude,
people
like-
aren't
Or
30
Death
yet, man. Let me see what the highest level guy is right now.
It's probably like 25, right? Someone might be 30. I'm not sure.
So it's interesting that you guys just want to play your main first in the demo, because I'm actually a little bit scared to play my main in the demo just because of the
Really?
reason you said, like burning out a little bit. And I would even
Absolutely.
go that far as to not even want to play my second favorite character, which would be Hunter. I made my mind up and I would play a mage, which is my third favorite character, probably. So I would play a mage in beta, and I would play it on horde even, so I don't burn out from the alliance zones. I'm not sure I would burn out in the first place, but just to make
Right.
sure I will not burn out. I want to play a hunter as an alt someday.
This may be an opportunity to play with
yeah.
the man doing it, Dan, in EU, man, because it seems like EU players
Say
are playing
again?
with NA players. It may be an opportunity to play with the man doing it, Dan himself. I'm saying, like, we may not get this
Yeah,
opportunity
yeah.
again. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I hope we get all in, man.
Yeah, I hope so too, and I hope the beta would still be like small enough so we can be on the same server. And yeah, well,
Imagine if we were playing right now, dude. Oh man, it'd be
oh my
so
god.
fun.
Yeah.
Oh, I know, dude. The game is out, dude. The game
Def Camp is
out.
living the dream right now. Def Camp, how is the dream, dude? Def Camp, how is the dream? He's like, sorry,
Guys,
too busy living the
how's,
dream.
how's the dream?
How's the dream?
Yeah, dude.
It's fucking good, boys. However,
Oh,
it's lonely. I want you guys to be here so bad. I'm having a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. I feel bad. I almost feel like dirty, but
It is what it is.
I am literally just having so much fucking. I hate saying it because I feel like I'm rubbing it in, but
Just
no,
rub the
it's
salt
so
in the
good
wound.
that I
Fuck
hate-
it. We're facing it.
I'm
dude.
sorry.
Tell us how it is.
Just rub
Tell
it,
us how
just
it
dig
is.
it, just pour the salt shaker, just
I'm so
fresh salt
sorry.
and pepper, crush it and just
But it feels amazing.
right in the wound, dude.
It does.
Mm. Good shit, Def Camp. Good shit, dude. Awesome, man.
Level 18. I haven't
Awesome.
died yet, guys. I haven't died once.
I will say this. No, I will say this, guys. If you get invited, it's almost a blessing. In your current situation, like Def Camp, whenever he gets on launch day, it's still going to be glorious, but he's going to have played the game for 2-3 months, right? And whenever it gets down there, and you may have watched it for a month or two up to this point, but dude, until you get in there that first time, it's going to be real. And so it may not be the worst thing that we're not in this beta right now. It's really not.
Yeah, I agree, but still,
I know, we all still want to play them.
I didn't want to be in the beta until the beta came.
Well,
Trying to make these
and
weekly leveling guides, man. I can't
No,
do it until
no,
I can
no.
get in, man. Or I'm gonna have to just like
Same.
have someone help test it for me, man.
Same. Which yeah, that's a huge issue. And it's that, dude, and it's one of those things. It's like you can't have the WoW token in, because once the WoW token in, everybody's gonna want to pay for gold, because one person's doing it, everybody wants to do it. And so that's kind of how this open beta felt. One person's doing it, everybody wants to do it. And I mean, that's just the reality of it, but it is
Yeah.
what it is.
So since we have you as a special guest,
Sure.
figured
What's
it
that?
would be cool to have some questions for you. Like,
Sure, absolutely.
first of all, we know your favorite class is Druid. So
Yeah.
why Druid? What do you like about it?
Dude, the reason I'm gonna be maining a Druid in Classic, and this goes into like real life personal. Everybody knows what like a basic bitch is, right? For better or worse. I really feel as if I try to go against the norm. I try not to do what everybody else. And in my opinion, like if I were to roll Warrior and do in-game PvP with Warrior and want to be Pat, or what was his name, that'd be kind of like the basic bitch thing. So a lot of it stems from I really want to play something that nobody else plays, and a Druid, and do Druid shine. And then the play style of Druid I really like, because of the versatility that they have. And I really have fallen in love with dungeons, and the utility that Druids bring into dungeons is second to none. Nobody else offers what Druids can offer in a dungeon group, whether it's tanking, healing, DPSing, some of their abilities. They have CC with Hibernate against beasts. Bear form is one of the best tank. I mean, bear form in dungeons is like the best tanking spec in my opinion. They have stealth abilities, and just the utility that you bring to a dungeon. Overall, I never want to be the best. I really don't care to be the best. I'm competitive, but like in top DPS, I'm not interested in hitting the top DPS meters. In healing, I really want to be a utility player. I really want to bring it, and that's what I love about vanilla is that the spirit of this utility, and everybody works better in numbers kind of thing. Druids really shine in that, and so that's why I'm attracted to druids.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Last character I played to 60 on private server was a druid, and I must say I really enjoyed it. The only thing that I kind of disliked is how fast they gear actually in Molten Core. So after a few raids, I had everything, and then yeah.
Oh, that's a downside.
That's quality of life right there, dude. Dave.
Yeah.
I'm trying to go Warlock, man. Put up that Curse of Shadow, little life tap, little demonic rune. I'm gonna put Shadow Bolt on scroll up, dude. I'm gonna be on Reddit over here, just like, all right, ping me if you need me, man.
That's weird, right? People would like to have gear ASAP, but I mean, the fun is over if you have all the gear. So,
dude, I can't wait for some duels cargoes. 30 S priest versus 30 warlock, dude.
Soul Link warlock, Orc warlock. I'm liking my chances, Def Camp. I'm liking.
You can't soul link at 30, baby.
Ooh, maybe we'll see. Yeah, 30. I got Siphon Life though, at least.
Yeah, it's true.
Oh wait,
true,
no, I can get. I'm pretty sure I can get Demonic Sacrifice, right? Let me make sure. Can I get my second?
Dude, some people were shitting on Soul Link, man. They were saying that Soul Link's so easy that they don't even let him in duels.
Yeah, they banned him in the duel tournament, but I mean, fuck it, dude.
I mean, I think it's good,
play.
but once you get geared though, it is kind of insane.
It is, yeah. I mean, but honestly, having Demonic Sacrifice versus you because you can dispel is not even that good, man. To have the double Voidwalker shield doesn't really even matter, right? Dispel that.
There's a question about dual leveling.
Spell domination. There we go. Yeah, and Master.
Someone wants to play, or a friend of someone wants to play Resto Shaman, and he asks if it's better to dual level with Arms Warrior or Feral Bear Druid together with the Resto Shaman. What do you think about that, Cargos?
Say it again. Sorry, my bad. I was looking at the talents.
So to dual level with someone who plays a Resto Shaman, would you suggest an Arms Warrior or a Feral Bear?
Oh, I mean, both are very, very strong. I mean, playing two classes that can have access to healing is going to be more accessible. You're going to have so much margin for error. You're pretty much never going to die. I think Shaman Warrior is going to be faster. You wouldn't play it as Resto, though. You could just play it as Elemental or Enhancement. You know, you wouldn't necessarily need to play the Resto unless you really like wanted to flavor-wise, you know, then go for it. But, you know, being able to drop that Wind Fury Totem for the Warrior and being able to sustain him through, you know, his little sweeping strikes wombo combo with all that is just insane. Warriors just get super ramped up in a duo environment.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say this too. He was talking about Resto Shamans, dude. And yeah, you normally wouldn't level as Resto because all the healing classes, especially in a dual leveling environment and in the 5-man dungeon group environment, you don't have to be spec'd healing to be an effective healer. And that's another reason I love Druids so much is because they have this healing ability and they are just as effective healers, if not more so, as an overall player as a Feral Druid. Sorry about that. But that's another reason why I love Druid because they have the healing ability, and for some reason the way healing works in Vanilla WoW, healing is so overpowered. Just as in, it's just an added benefit to your class if you have it, and so that's another super appealing thing about Druid and why I play it.
I must say, Druid is probably one of the most fun classes to level for me. Also, the early levels, you basically play another character every 10 levels, right? And okay, you don't have a lot of moves, but I don't really mind that. I actually really like the early levels with a few moves, so it's really an interesting one to level. I feel it stays interesting.
And dude, I'm really in the role playing element. Oh my gosh, the class quests for Druids are sick, dude. Getting your bear form, your water form quest. yeah. And someone was saying earlier, Mulgore Druids because Mulgore is Biss, and dude, that's another element. You know, as a Druid I can pick Taurens, but dude, the whole Tauren element behind in the game is awesome, dude. And really Taurens I see more as shamans and these wise characters, but just these characters that use the elements, dude. You got freaking Entangling Roots as a Druid, as a Tauren Druid, and it just feels good to run around as this big blocky badass.
Druids are pretty high skill cap class too, like because a lot of times their win condition in both PvP or PvE isn't obvious. You have to get creative as a Druid, right? Like you have to be able to disengage and re-engage. That was the #1 mistake I made when I leveled my first Druid. I started talking to people like Taladrill and other druids, and I'm like man fighting people in bear form, thinking I can take them, and you can do all right. It's not like the worst thing ever, but the druid's strength is being able to disengage and leverage their mobility out in the open world, and people to disengage, re-engage, and to attrition people. Attrition is a big deal with the druid because you're able to use proactive abilities in animal form while still regenerating mana in your caster form. This allows you to attrition out so many classes and being able to just move in and move out, and it's not obvious. It's not super obvious what your win condition is a lot of the time. And yeah.
And you're talking, and that's in-game PvP. Absolutely. I was watching Soda Poppin' earlier, and he pointed this out, and I've seen this in the past, and I knew of it, but he was killing a mob 5 levels higher than him in bear form. And the spell abilities like Claw coming out, it does its normal 40 damage, but a normal white attack, like your just melee damage, would do 5 damage, 7 damage against the character 5 levels higher than you. But in cat form, you have a lot more energy ticks, so you're hitting shred a lot more, right? And so these spell abilities are clicking off a lot more. And so the fact that you have access to bear form, cat form, you can cast more abilities or not, just the play style is so, there's so many different avenues you can go down, whether it's leveling, in-game PvP, and that's what's so appealing about it to me. I'm not familiar with leveling with very many other classes in vanilla other than druid, but like I compare that to like a warrior's leveling playstyle. I don't know, it's you have hamstring and a couple other abilities and stuff like that, but and a couple other classes like hunters and warlocks with their pets, they have a lot of different playstyles that you can get into, like and that's one thing I really is the fact that you have a pet that you can control different mobs with, and certain things like that. I really appreciate those classes that have a lot more going on behind the scenes, and so maybe that's another reason why I like druids so much. So
yeah, druids can obviously only be one race, but if you look at all 8 races, what would be your favorite? Oh my god, it's hard to speak.
Well, whenever I first played, I will say this, I first got introduced to the game in 2005. I was 9 years old, and of course I rolled a freaking gnome, because that's what all 9-year-old kids want to play, right?
Okay.
A gnome. That's the character I could relate to the most, you know. He was freaking small, all the other characters, and I didn't want to be a dwarf, because you think about a dwarf in real life, they just never grow up. Like, that's so a gnome really fit me. I felt like it was a smaller character. Maybe by the end of the day, by level 60, I'd be a full-grown person, right? So I picked gnome back in 2005.
Right.
I picked gnome, and I fell in love with Dun Moreau. And I think that you really have to put into account I think the zones are really important to the classes. To the class identity, to the race identity, I mean, not the classes. So
yeah,
I really fell in love with Dun Moreau when I was a kid. Of course, as I'm sure everybody else fell in love with the zone, but like Durotar makes me sick, dude. I can't stand the red rocky desert. I don't want to just say Torn just because that's what I'm accustomed to, but it's so beautiful, dude. Mulgore is such a pleasant place to level through. What other race? It's either Mulgore and then Dun Moreau, because I fell in love with it. Dun Moreau feels so good, and Loch Modan feels so good. Elwyn Forest and Westfall, they feel too cliche, too alliance for me, too basic for me, right? Like Elwyn Forest is like the typical environment that you'd level in a MMORPG, right? So I really like the plains of Mulgore, and I like the snow.
What about Teldrassil?
Teldrassil? See, Teldrassil and Undercity, and at least this was my appeal whenever I was a younger kid, is I hated the dark zones. Darkshore drove me crazy, dude. Mm-hmm. I hated Darkshore. So
actually, same here. Yeah, I still do. I don't know. Did it change for you? Yeah.
Probably my least favorite. Yeah, the Night Elf zones. Some people love the Night Elf zones. The music is dope. Don't get me wrong, and I appreciate it. Absolutely. I can't think of Warcraft without the Night Elf zones. Let me put it that way. It's not like I want Warcraft without the Night Elf zones. They have to exist. They're integral to the Warcraft feel. But are they my favorite zones to chill in, and do they provide me with the like? They're just not my personal favorite. You know, I prefer like zones like Loch Modan, Westfall, Red Ridge. Like the human ones are awesome. I like the dwarf ones, and I like the whole horde ones more as a generalization.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's that's just something I love. I can't wait to go back, dude. Go back to the zones, and that the zones are such a big part of the class identity and just such a big part of the experience, obviously. But yeah, whenever you brought that question up, it just really sparked some excitement in me. And a lot of the content that I'm going to create is going to be based off of the zones and the feel and the role playing experience. So I can't wait to get back to that. That was a good question. You really piqued my interest with that one.
Yeah, starting zones are something that really interests me as well, and I spend a lot of time in starting zones, and I make quite a lot of new characters just to be there. But usually I go to the same ones every time again. So Teldrassil, that would be it, Elwyn Forest, and Mulgore as well, and that's basically it. So I don't really like the dark zones either, and I still don't.
My best man right here, Jose. Come here for 1 second, dude. This is my man, dude. This is my man, Jose, dude. What's up, stream?
Yo,
this is
up, guys?
Played WoW with this guy forever. Super Jack, legend guy. You played Luminix, the Paladin, right? That was your character.
Oh, Paladin.
He's a fellow Paladin, Dunedain.
That's awesome.
A fellow Paladin.
Oh, by the way, guys.
He likes TBC the best, though.
First of all, Tearsful felt amazing, and some people were asking, all the eyes in the bushes, they were there. So the eyes were in the bushes in Tearsful.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but yeah, Tearsful felt great, and the only thing I didn't notice there, I really couldn't tell the night that much, but I don't know, Tearsful, it felt like it should, especially with the classic settings on. I think the classic settings in the beta are really, really pretty close to how it was, man.
Did you experience weather effects at all?
Yes, I did. It was raining hard as shit last night in Tearsful.
I saw that. It was intense.
That's good, I guess. I don't like the weather effects, but I guess it's good.
You don't like the weather effects?
No, I don't. I rather the sunny atmosphere. But
and chat, come through on this one. I heard a lot of people complaining about the nighttime, the original nighttime inventory. I'm not familiar with it. I couldn't recognize it one way or another, but people were complaining that in the demo or in the beta that the original night and daytime zones weren't, the time periods at least weren't like implemented. I don't know. Did anybody see that? Do you know what I'm talking about, DefCamp? Because I'm not familiar with it. Or
about the say that again. I'm sorry.
Just the nighttime, the original nighttime in. They said that it wasn't implemented in.
Yeah.
I don't know what it would be though. I'm not familiar.
They were saying that it wasn't dark enough. I think people were saying, but
what graphic setting
I heard
are
a
they
few
playing
different
on
things.
though? Because with the new shadows that they added on, the zones feel darker. I don't know if you saw some of those screenshots.
No, I've been playing on the classic settings the whole time, so yeah.
So it should seem brighter for you. I mean, I don't know. That's what it seemed like.
I did turn them up a couple times to look, but yeah, it seemed okay to me. Honestly, it didn't seem too bad. But like I said, it's really hard to tell. I've been in Tearsful the most of the time. Tearsful is really hard to tell at night. It's because it's so dark already.
Nicholas Golding is asking a very good question. Cargos, with people seeming to have to wait for mobs to respawn a lot of layering, do you think it would be prudent to skip area and kill higher level mobs or to run to different starting areas? You're going to have to see. I really hope there's going to be some maybe during the stress test. That's going to be a big one for those of you guys watching. Be there for the stress test because that is going to emulate what it's going to be during launch. I assume that they're going to test layering during the stress test. Why wouldn't they? They're trying to push the tech to the limit, right? So we're going to see what those layers look like in practice, and you're going to be able to get a sense of how crazy the starting area zones are. You're either going to be able to complete them and go about your route normally, or you may have to just do only the kill quest, get to level 3, or even 2. You could leave as early as 2, get to the next area. Those next set of quests usually start at baseline 3. You need 3 to pick up the Canvas Scraps quest in Durotar, for example. So it's something you're gonna have to evaluate, but just keep the stress test in mind. That's gonna answer a lot of this next week.
No, and he hit on that. Yes, it's a great point, and that's something that I saw with the layering at least yesterday. I'm really excited about that. It's gonna have more of that traditional Blizzard feel that you got on private servers on these launches without the dynamic respawn. So yeah, dude, it was a good sign. I think the layering up to this point, I'm feeling good about it.
Okay.
Yeah. So I have a few last questions for you, Craig.
For sure.
Many healers like to play a female character. How do you feel about that?
Okay, I don't know how I feel about the female character overall. I will say this. I've seen so many female Tauren druids, like the black and white Tauren female druid, and then she's got the black mount, and I saw him capped out on a fresh private server, right? At least there's something mystique. There's this mystique around this female Tauren druid with the black and white skin and then a black mount, dude, that I really am drawn towards. I don't know about all the other female characters. Everybody says you have to have like a high skill cap in order to like rock the female character because there's not.
I have noticed that, right? A lot of the high-end PvPers and stuff, they roll female. They like the anime. They just tend to all like the animations better on the female ones. So.
Yeah, and there's something about getting your ass kicked by a female. Like, at least in Vanilla WoW, dude. There's something cool about it. But I'm really drawn towards the femtar, as you would call it. I don't know why, but and it would only be a female druid. Like a female hunter looks stupid, but I mean, yeah. But like a female druid would be pretty...
It's something I see a lot, like druids, priests, paladins less, but mostly druids and priests. They tend to be female. I don't know why, actually. What's so funny?
Oh, dude, just pokered at a couple people in the chat. I'm just laughing at this conversation.
Okay.
But yeah,
I see.
I was thinking my first character might actually be. So this was my ideal world, was having leveling up a female druid and then having a second account where I would power level the rest of my characters, throw thorns on the character on the second account where they followed, and they'd follow this 60 Torn druid that was a female, and there was just something cool about this. I was probably gonna name her like Mama Bear or something, and she was just gonna level up my entire other account. Which I know it sounds so stupid.
I like it, dude. That's cool, man.
I
like that. That's dope, dude. Do that. That's great.
But dude, like that's how I view this game. That's how important it is. Like, dude, I'm dude, I can't wait to get back. It's so much more than a game and numbers. Like it's a real life living world. And I can't wait to do it. Dude. It's gonna be so dope.
Dude, you're gonna be playing a femtar druid. You're gonna be the underdog, man. You're gonna be like the edgiest, like most hipster. Like there's gonna be very few of you. You know what I mean? It's gonna be very few. Of you.
Right. Which oh, dude, it feels so good. And that's kind of like how I, in real life, like I want to be different. I want to be. I go against the norm, things like that. And so it's cool. You can capture that. You can totally capture that in Vanilla WoW. It's so neat. I'm ready for it.
I need to make a female Night Elf Hunter at some point. Just
oh god, please die.
DefCamp's favorite class, dude. I know I can't wait to see DefCamp roll a female
female Night Elf
Hunter named Twinkle Toes, and we're gonna make our way through.
Twinkle Toes?
No, it's gonna Lego Lit. We're gonna make our way through the Night Elf zones together, man. I can't wait to do a level double female Night Elf Hunter with you, DefCamp.
I will say this though, Cargos, because of how much attention druids have gotten from all the content creators lately, I think there's going to be so many more druids. I think they're going to be 15%. They normally are what, 5%? I think we're going to see like 15% of the population roll druid.
I think we're going to see
There's
a lot more.
There's going to be a little bit of a spike.
Because we're going into this without the prejudice that real vanilla had, right? A lot of
Right.
In vanilla, there's like this compounding prejudice against certain classes and the way things were rolled out and the progressive itemization and everything that it's hard to overcome that, and vanilla didn't last that long, right? But going into it this time in a 112 environment and people with all the, the information out there these days, I think we're going to see probably, what do you think? Doing it in more hybrid classes, less hybrid classes?
Oh, it's a hard question. So people who are watching content now, so people who are kind of invested in the game, I think they will play more hybrid classes. They will play priest, they will play warrior, classes like that. And mage, because mage is overall just a very good class. And I think there will be less rogues, hunters, warlocks in those categories. But from the masses that will come from maybe BFA or just from nowhere, I think those will probably still be the same, like they used to be, like many hunters, many rogues, many anything. So probably warlock will be on the low side overall, I'd say.
I'd say
yeah,
so.
and it's interesting, Carlos and Dunedain. I'll say this, guys. Dude, from a lot of the content that I've seen lately, everybody's like min-maxing. Everybody's, this is the way you play. This is the best race. You have to go orc for the 25% stun resist, right? And so in that sense, I could see a lot less people playing paladins, druids. I don't know, some things like that. But Cypher pointed out, he said one thing though is not many people will do rep pallies or tanks. Like I was a 60 rep pally forced to be holy, which is sad. And that's a really interesting point, Cypher, because in Vanilla WoW, there's gonna be cliques. If you're in a competitive raiding guild, yeah, you're gonna be forced to go holy. But the general consensus is, and this is what a lot of people are saying at least, is you're not gonna be able to raid. You're not gonna be able to raid group if you want to be a ret paladin, or if you want to tank as a pally, which dude is totally true for the most part. But like it's weird, like in my ring, if I were to have my own guild, if I were to progress through content, I am more prone to inviting a lot more of a colorful group. And dude, like how much better would that experience be than
I'm gonna say this. So as you probably know, I have my own guild, and we want to have like 3 of those meme of specs in raids. So
Right.
Boomkin and Catroot and Red Paladin,
yeah,
those kind of things. Right now we have like almost 60 people, I think, in the guild, and 4 of those applied as Red Paladin. So there are a lot of people who want to try and play Red Paladin, and they will probably not all get level 60, and they will probably not all be raiding with us, but I think there's quite a population who's interested in doing it, and I hope they find a home, because we can only take so many, right?
Yeah, I will say there's an interesting note about Red Paladins, and I mean, some of what you said is true, man. Like at the very tippy top, you know, end of rating, they may be very, very, you know, by the numbers and say like we're only going to accept, you know, people. We're only this is our ideal raid comp. We're gonna roll out with this. But like as soon as you get off that echelon, it's gonna open up a lot more. And stuff like Red Paladins, like if you're just kind of like in a semi-hardcore guild, that's like the best terminology I learned somewhat recently. Like, and you're willing to put in that work, and if you have the bankroll to support it, Red Paladins can benefit from all the melee consumables and world buffs, and as well as the spell power ones, right? So you can actually double dip if you're super baller and get a ton of consumables and stuff to benefit you. And you know, sky's the limit. I don't want to say exactly how well you're going to be able to do or perform, but you know, figure it out. And one thing that's cool about Paladins too is the Blessing of Sanctuary spec, man. If I was playing Alliance, you best believe Protection Paladin in the raid, like Blessing of Sanctuary. Oh, you lucky dog, bro. That sounds like such a fun spec. Outside of raids, you can tank, heal, or DPS. You're still a threat in PvP. God damn, I envy that Dunedain. That sounds awesome,
and
bro.
It should be decent or good even at farming and everything. So it's just a good spec, I think. I look forward to trying it. But I want to say something. Forgot. Damn. Keep talking.
Oh yeah. I mean, Blessing of Sanctuary, so good, guys. It's like, you know, Lestor told me that, and he's a very experienced paladin, runs a lot of stuff. So, but if threat is an issue, people will tell you off the bat, they'll spit it back out to you. Best buff in the game, Blessing of Sanctuary, reducing threat, right? But let's assume that threat isn't an issue for whatever reason. Your dual wield Fury Defiance tanking, it's not an issue. What is the next best buff in the game potentially? In his opinion, it's Blessing of Sanctuary. Blessing of Sanctuary is that what is it, like a tier 3? You get it like 30 or something like that, the protection talent, and it reduces incoming damage by a set amount every time. So it's like smart healing. And if you take a look at the raid logs after a raid is said and done, and you look at how the raid damage taken, there's a very noticeable, substantial, sizable difference between a raid that's buffed with Blessing of Sanctuary and a raid that's not. So you're taking way less raid damage. It's very consistent. It's always going to mitigate that amount of damage. The whole block thing reflecting holy damage is a non-factor, right? But it's very interesting that stuff like that is super good, right? And like necessary. I don't know. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. What I wanted to say is I think it would be more interesting to raid with a few of those specs. It would feel more fresh, and I really have no interest in going like the full min-max thing. Clear it ASAP. I rather try new things. Bring a Boomkin, bring a Red Paladin, see what they can do. I think that adds some flavor to old content.
Love it. Great Wizard's in here, dude. Shout out to Great Wizard, another great content creator. Says mages suck. He's a mage main, right? It's good to see you in here, man. He didn't get any of it, dude. Rip the dream. Rip the dream.
There will be many mages, I would say.
Oh yeah.
Did we have anything else we wanted to flesh out? Cargos, I know you got people, man.
Yeah.
Got things to do.
Let's wrap up. I gotta pick up Connor from the train station. Maybe we'll do another stream later today. Any final thoughts? Def Camp's killing harpies over there.
I'm just so happy, but I'm also really lonely, and I want to play with you guys. So hopefully you guys get an invite soon. We can do some more testing.
Maybe you should try the ticket and ask.
Yes,
please invite
write
my
a ticket,
friends.
dude. Please invite my friends. I know this is already how this works right now, so can we just keep that going and invite my friends?
Please invite my friends, and let's get more people in the beta. There we go.
Yeah, that sounds good to me, man.
Dude, I start off every ticket with, "Hey guys, hope I'm not bothering you, but."
That's funny.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
I'm just, I think things are pretty positive. Honestly, I'm feeling pretty
Sure.
positive. The beta feels good. I feel like we're gonna have a really good classic, guys. I really do. I feel like classic WoW is gonna be fucking amazing. We are we are going to have so much fun this summer or fall, whatever you want to call it.
For
And
sure.
dude, it's gonna be the time of our lives, 100%. I am just so psyched, so fucking hyped, and ready to go. And I can't wait to play with you guys.
Hell yeah, brother. We got a couple donations here. Chicken Basket with the 25. My man, Chicken, dude. I hope you're good, man. I hope you're good. Have fun with the wedding, bro. Fingers crossed on the beta
Have
invites.
fun with the wedding, bro. Fingers crossed on beta invites.
Thank you very much for the 25 and your continued support, Chicken, man. I look forward to catching up with you soon, man. And also, man, 1,000 biddies from Trump-tastic Day. Enjoy your wedding cargoes. Thank you for that wedding gift. 1,000 biddies. Very kind of you. Guys, I know we don't have we have a little mini beta footage in the top left, but thanks for hanging out. It's kind of an impromptu GMA this week. We're still fighting the good fight. This is episode what, 20? 20 weeks in a row? Damn.
20 weeks.
Yeah, dude, I just want to say thanks for having me on, guys. And for everybody who's watching, dude, fingers crossed. Good luck on getting into the beta soon.
Where can they find you, Graysfordays, before we wrap up? You got to sub to this man. Support this man. Very good dude here, man. Very good dude.
Yeah, so I'm on YouTube and of course my Twitch right now. I haven't made videos in the last month, and then with the beta coming out, I'm really hoping to get some beta footage or just a couple more dungeon guides that I'm gonna be able to create. But I've got my YouTube channel. I can link it right now in the chat.
Yeah, post it in the chat. I'll make you a mod in here if you're not already a mod. I think you probably are.
Cool.
Yeah,
either way, that's my YouTube. That's where you can find me. We're gonna be doing everything classic whenever it comes out. I just want to say thanks for having me on to the show today, guys. Good luck on getting beta keys and cargoes, my man, dude. Congratulations. Go kick ass.
You're gonna cross that bridge soon too, right?
Yeah.
I might pop over to your wedding if you'll have me. We'll see what happens, man. I'm gonna wrap up, guys. Thanks again for your time.
I want to add something.
Sure.
So I just wanted to clear out why we have guests. People might have missed it. So the plan is to have a guest every other week, and we will stream probably on Thursday most of the time if we have a guest. And if we don't have a guest, that will be the other week. We will stream it Melderon again, so it will be the format as you're used to. And it will probably be on a weekend, so maybe on Saturdays, Sundays, depends.
Yeah.
So just wanted to say that again. So Melderon will still be on the show every other week, and
Melderon's still here with us in spirit, dude.
Yeah, he says, and by the way, Melderon says he loves you guys, misses you guys, wish he could be there. He'll be there next time. But he is unfortunately working right now. But if you guys want to come check out as well, I'm streaming on the beta right now on YouTube and Twitch. So if you guys want to come check that out, on the Priest.
And also there will still be meme contests, but that's for another episode because this was a little bit in a hurry. So that will be for the next time.
All right,
and
guys.
You can find all episodes on where right now.
Channel, man. Or on the Def Camp Melderon podcast stuff. Yeah. So I'm gonna wrap up, guys. I gotta get the train station. Connor's waiting for me. See you guys later, man. Peace out.